Today is the day, guys. Today is the day.
I've been in your waters.
What is poppin', people, and welcome back to another tattoo tips video. And yes, today is the day. Guys, we've all been there. We have all been there. You do the crispiest, sexiest tattoo that you have ever done in your life, and then you can't get a photo of it. You cannot get a photo of it. Everything you are doing just does not show that tattoo the way that it looks in real life. Well, this video is for you guys. Yes, we are talking about the essential tips that you need to get a good photo of that tattoo. Now, I did actually do this video a few weeks ago, and I realized that I was talking about everything like camera, like everything camera and everything photography, and it was geared more towards a photography student rather than you, who just needs to know the bare essentials of how to take a good photo of your tattoo. So bear with us, because it is going to be quite a lengthy one. There is going to be a little bit of information in there for you, so you might want to get a pen, get a notepad, write it down, pause the video, write it down, just get yourself a cup of tea, kick back, relax, let's go. So guys, straight off the bat, let's answer the one question that everybody wants to know. Do you need to buy yourself a mirrorless or DSLR camera to take a good photo? No, you do not. These work just fine. Your mobile phone works just fine. Majority of mobile phones now come with a pretty decent camera, so you do not need to go out and buy a DSLR or mirrorless camera. However, having a DSLR or mirrorless camera does offer up a lot more versatility in your photo. So what do I mean by versatility? Well, obviously a DSLR or mirrorless camera offers the ability to change lenses. With different lenses you get different looks. But not only that, it also comes with something called manual mode. Now, manual mode gives you full control over your image. You get to control your ISO, your shutter speed, and your aperture. Those are just the main three right there, but you also get to control your white balance, which is a biggie when it comes to taking a photo. So, if you do have the funds to be able to get yourself a DSLR or mirrorless camera, I would always recommend that over a mobile phone. However, to take a photo of a tattoo, these will work just fine, I promise you that. So now we've got that question out of the way, guys, and you know that you do not need a DSLR or mirrorless camera. Let's talk about the next most important thing that you do need, that being good lighting. Now, when it comes to photography, lighting is king. It just is. You could have the most expensive camera in the world. You could have the most expensive lens in the world. But if you have poor lighting, it will look rubbish. It's as simple as that. It will look rubbish. You could spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds on a camera. However, if you are going to spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds on a camera, then I would actually recommend, before purchasing that camera, you spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds on lighting, because the best lighting on a rubbish camera will still make that rubbish camera better than the best rig out there with rubbish lighting. That is a fact. Lighting is king. Now, when it comes to taking a photo, you need to control your lighting. You need to pull the blinds down on the windows, you need to turn the room lights out, and you need to have that isolated light on that tattoo with no spill light coming from anywhere else. That way you are in control. Where you move the light, you know that it's only that light hitting that tattoo. So it gives you more control over setting up your lighting the way that you need it. So what lights can you use? Well, most lights will do just fine. However, all lights must be diffused. Like my tattoo hacks video, guys, that you are seeing now, I have diffused my light using a piece of kitchen roll. You can use a piece of paper, it does not matter. All it is doing is filtering that light, so it's not creating any harsh highlights. What you also need to remember is that when you are taking a photo of your tattoo, the lighting needs to be even. Now, if you only have one light, then you are going to find it really hard to get even light, which is why I always recommend that tattooists invest in ring lights. Ring lights work great when it comes to taking a photo of your tattoo. What it does is it evenly distributes the light across the subject while isolating the subject. However, the smaller ring lights, the 10 inches, the 12 inches, do not work. So if you're going to invest in a ring light, I would always recommend spending the little extra money and getting the 18-inch ring light. Specifically, there's a ring light by Newer, I think it is, that is not sponsored, by the way. They do really good ring lights. Their 18-inch ring light is awesome, so I would highly recommend that one. Now, if you don't want to invest in a ring light, what you can use is a 2-light setup. If you have 2 lights, then you can place them at either side of the tattoo, point them 45 degrees at the tattoo, not too close though, because it will cause glare. Have them further off and try and create the best even lighting that you can. Now, going back to a 1-light setup, depending on the light that you are using, glare is going to be very, very prominent when it comes to taking your photo. Now, a tip around that, guys, is you can move your light around until your light glare is hitting the harshest highlight on your tattoo. That way the glare's not interfering with the rest of the tattoo, and it is only on that harsh highlight or that skin break, so it's not affecting the overall image by having a glare run directly through, losing you details. If it's in that highlight or it's in that skin break, that is going to give you a better image to work with. And then say you do not have a ring light, say you do not have a light, say you do not have a 2-light setup, what would be the next best alternative? Window light, natural light. Natural light is really good if you cannot isolate any lighting. And you also get the diffusion from the clouds also. So yeah, natural light is your final option. So take your client outside to take a photo, or take a photo next to a window. So you've done these things, you've bought yourself a ring light, you've got a 2-light setup or a single light setup, and you are ready to take a picture. What else can you do to aid in getting the best possible image? Well, you can go out and you can invest in something called a CPL filter, otherwise known as a circular polarizer. Now, a circular polarizer, again, just helps with reducing glare on your image. Now, a lot of people will say that this will darken your blacks. Personally, no, it doesn't, not really. It may darken them just slightly, but it's not enough to say that that image is completely like edited and not a true representation of the tattoo. What you can also get, guys, is some polarizing film, and you can place this over your light also, so you get the polarization from the light and you get polarization from the lens. Now, if you're using your phone, you can buy a little clip-on one that like sticks on the top, but if you're using a DSLR camera, you can pick a cheap one up for around about 20 quid just to put over the top of your lens. So now, guys, we have everything set up. You have your lighting, you have your ring light, you have your CPL filter. Now comes the time to get the photo, and all you really need to do is just expose that photo the best that brings out that tattoo. If you are using a DSLR or mirrorless camera, then obviously you have more control over this, so you can control your ISO, you can control your shutter speed, and you can control your aperture to get the best possible exposure. On a mobile phone, generally you can knock the exposure up or down, but that's the only real control that you have. Finding that exposure is key now to get in the photo. If you overexpose, that means the image becomes more blown out. If you underexpose, it means the image is too dark. So you are literally just trying to find the in-between where you can see the entire tattoo, all the details in the tattoo, without being too dark and without being too light. When it comes to exposure, guys, it all depends on the lighting setup that you have chose to use. I wish I was able to tell you what exposure to use, but I really cannot. That one is really up to you guys to find out what the best exposure is for your lighting setup. Now what I've done is I've broke down the entire process into the 3 things that you need to get a good photo. But if you do want a comprehensive guide on photography, then let me know in the comments and I will possibly push one out for you. But guys, that is all for the video. If you are new around here, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on bell notifications to get notified every time I upload a new video. There is a tattoo tips playlist, as everybody knows. If you want one-on-one personal seminars with me, there is an email in the description. I also have a Patreon with the link in the description. You can click those if you want any of those. But guys, I shall see you all in the next one. Peace!